Chapter 47. The Devil's Design. The throne room of Elther's palace was a cavern of shadows and starlight, its obsidian walls etched with runes that pulsed faintly, like the dying heartbeat of a god. Crimson banners hung limp, embroidered with Calith's sigil, their threads frayed from years of neglect. The air was thick, with the cloying scent of incense from brass censers, masking the underlying rot of damp stone and spilled blood from recent interrogations. King Elther Vailorian slouched on his blackened steel throne, his gaunt frame draped in frayed crimson velvet, a breastplate of etched runes glinting dully beneath. His silver hair, streaked with grey, was bound by a circlet of star gems that flickered erratically, mirroring the paranoia in his pale blue eyes. At 52, he was a tyrant worn thin by ambition, his gnarled hands adorned with rings of bone and crystal, clenching the throne's arms as if they might slip away. Prince Baelor lounged against a pillar nearby, his dark hair tousled from a sparring session, a cruel smirk playing on his lips as he idly twirled his dagger in his hands. At 22, he was a mirror of his father's youth, broad-shouldered, handsome in a brutal way, but his eyes burned with reckless fire. High Wizard Vorinthal stood at Elther's right, a towering figure in indigo robes shimmering with stardust, his wild black beard streaked silver, his deep-set eyes like coals smouldering with secrets. His ironwood staff, topped with a humming crystal, leaned against the throne, a constant reminder of his visions that had saved the king from coups and famines alike. Elther's voice rasped, a velvet venom laced with frustration, as he leaned forward, his bone rings clinking. Valoria fractures, but I will remake it in my image, a kingdom where every knee bends, every soul whispers my name in fear and awe. We'll subvert the temples first, Vorin. Turn Calith's priests into peddlers of indulgence, their altars dens of vice where lust and greed are divine gifts. The faithful will gorge on star-shattered dreams, forgetting their hunger for rebellion. Baelor's smirk widened, his dagger twirling lazily. And the youth, father? Break them from the old, offer gladiatorial glory, blood duels in the streets. Let them rebel against their fathers with our coin, severing ties like an axe through rope. Elther nodded, his pale eyes glinting. Yes, my son. Families at war with themselves, fathers drunk on subsidized ale, mothers dulled by whispers of despair, children fending alone. No unity means no uprising. We'll peddle narcotics freely, star-shatter diluted for the masses, turning merchants into addicts who crave our blessings over freedom. Twist the truth in pamphlets, erase heroes, paint me as savior, brand dissenters heretics for public burnings. Vorin's hypnotic rasp joined, his wild beard twitching. Wise sire, will erode morality, legalize vice as virtue, host feasts where nobles gorge while slums starve, call it Calith's abundance. The shrine's power will seal it, making us eternal. Elther's fist clenched, his circlet pulsing brighter. Eternal! That's my desire, to ascend beyond this flesh, rival the gods with the star shrine's might. No more whispers of weakness, no more Krindar raids or Zitharan schemes. Valoria will kneel or burn. The room fell silent, Elther's paranoia surfacing as he glanced at the shadows. But Jans, where is his word? The star-scarred boy should be in chains by now. Vorin leaned closer, his staff's crystal flaring faintly. Patience, my king. Jans is an elite tracker, sharp, but sometimes slow and methodical in his approach. But if you seek answers faster, I can perform a blood magic spell divine the boy's path through the veil. It requires a subject, pure, unmissed, a child from the streets, no one to mourn. Elther balked, his gaunt face paling. even his tyranny recoiling at the brink. A child? Vorin, I am no monster. I rule with iron, but this reeks of desperation. Vorin's eyes gleamed, his voice a soothing balm laced with flattery. Desperation? Nay, sire. Vision. You, the star-crowned, destined for godhood, must wield every tool. The gods demand sacrifice. Think of the shrine's power, yours to command, eternal as the stars. This is but a step, a tribute to your glory. Lesser kings falter here. You rise. Aelther's vanity stirred, his pale eyes hardening, the temptation of divinity overriding his fleeting scruple. Very well, do it, but swiftly, Baelor, attend, witness your father's ascent. They descended to a dungeon chamber in the palace's bowels, a forgotten crypt of damp stone and iron chains, its air fetid with mould and old blood. Braziers flickered with blue flame, casting grotesque shadows across an altar of blackened marble, etched with Vaughn's void runes. A child, no more than 10, ragged and wide-eyed, snatched from the slums, huddled, chained to the altar, trembling, his small voice a whimper, lost in the dark. Vorin's robes swirled as he prepared, his wild beard twitching, staff raised. The ritual began, Vorin chanting in a guttural tongue, his voice echoing like grinding bones, the air thickening with sulphur and shadow. He drew a curved dagger, its blade inscribed with glowing sigils, and circled the altar, incense from a censer wafting acrid smoke that coiled like serpents. The child screamed as Vorin's blade sliced shallow runes into his skin, blood welling in precise patterns pooling in the altar's grooves. Aelther watched, face pale but resolute, Baelor's cruel smirk hiding unease. Vorin plunged the dagger into the child's chest, a wet crunch, blood spraying as the boy convulsed, his cries choking into gurgles, life ebbing in crimson floods. The blood ignited, flames blue and cold, swirling into a scrying vortex. Vorin's eyes rolled back, his body shuddering as visions hit. "I see him," Vorin rasped, voice distant. The star-scarred boy, Dylan, conversing with Zorath in an observatory above the clouds. The wizard speaks in riddles, fate as a river, suffering as chisel. He knows he is the star vessel, destined to claim the Starblade, to sever God's bonds. He heads south now, toward the star shrine from the Stormspire's peaks. Aelther's eyes blazed, his gaunt hands clenching. The shrine? He dares. Baelor, take a platoon of Starblades, elite knights, armored in shrine-forged steel. Intercept him, capture him alive. His blood will fuel my ascension. Baelor bowed, his smirk sharpening. As you command, father. The boy will kneel or bleed. Vorin's vision faded, the child's body limp on the altar, blood cooling in the runes. The chamber's shadows deepened, Aelther's plans advancing, the web tightening toward the star shrine, where a scarred boy's fate would decide Erendor's soul.